Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashatadeshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dina Tarine. Hare Krishna. So today is verse number 9 from chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga. So let us chant the shloka. Suruta Mitrari Udasina.
Mitrari udasina.
Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu.
Madhyastha dvesha bandhasu.
Vapi Chapapeshu.
Chadusvapi chapapeshu.
Samabuddhir Vishishyate.
Samabuddhi vishishate.
Surun Mitrari Udasina.
Sukrun mitrari udasina.
Asina
Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhushu.
Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhasu
Sadhushvapi Chapapeshu.
Sadhusvapi cha papeshu
Samabuddhir Vishishyate.
Samabuddhir Vishishyate.
Please chant.
Mitrari udasina Madhyastha Dvesha Bandhasu Sadhusva api cha papeshu Samabuddhir Vishishyate.
Sukrun mitrari udasina. Madhyastha dvesha bandhasu. Sadhusvapi chapapeshu. Samabuddhir vishishyate.
Shrumit mitrari udashina madhyastha devashya bandashu sadhusva api cha papesu samabuddhir vishyate.
Okay, thank you very much. So, this verse has no purport, but let's see the translation. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutral, the mediators, the envious, the friends and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with equal mind. So Krishna continuing how one can progress from Aruruksha to Yoga Rood stage. And he is also explaining one who has conquered the mind, how he behaves, what is his, what are his qualities, or what he represents, how he behaves. So yesterday's shloka we saw Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, the person, this yogi is satisfied by the Gyan and Vigyan, means the realization. That's why he can see the stones and gold, pebbles, everything as same. So if we see, the last shloka explains the equality to see the objects, not the living things. So stones or kanchana means gold. So these are all not the objects; they don't react. So you can in one way can have a equal vision to all these objects because they don't change. So gold remains gold, diamond remains diamond, even if it's cut into different shape. But the originally the stone remains same. So in one way, okay, you can somehow control this. Okay, I don't want to get attached to the diamonds or golds or money or stones, etc. You can control that, right? So that is one level of advancement. So where we can look equally at different objects. But in this shloka, Krishna is explaining much higher state. So here he is using the word Vishishyate. So he is Krishna is explaining a yogi who is much more advanced than what he has already explained. So here, if we see different categories of human being or people with whom we daily interact. The Suruta means who wishes well. Mitra, who is our friend. Mitra means friend, who is our well-wisher. Who we can have different relationship with him. Udasina means who is neutral. He don't act anyway. He don't care much about what's happening around them. Ari means the enemies, our enemies. Madhyastha is the mediator who tries to resolve the problem between two people, try to bring them together. Dvesha, the people who actually hate us, who are envious about us also, or sometimes we are also envious about others. So, Bandhushu means our dear ones who are always think good about us. So, Dvesha, Bandhushu. So, Dvesha is the people who, because of envy, may not think good about us. Bandhushu means our relatives. Of course, there can be exceptions also, but they generally relatives think good about us. They are our well wishers. Sadhu Su, a person who is saintly person, pious person, papi, who is doing the sins. So all this Vishishyate, this yogi who is much more advanced, he sees sama buddhi, he sees them with equal vision or equal intelligence, as Srila Prabhupada uses the word. So he's far more advanced. So this is different level of a yogi who just control his desires. A yogi controls his desires. At the same time, he can look at the different objects with same vision by getting detached from them. And here, a person, a yogi who looks at all the living objects, living beings with equal vision. So um, I think in the Prabhupada Lilamrut there is one story in some country. One person comes to uh, meet Srila Prabhupada and he asks how we can have equal vision. Then everybody is same. Then why we are differentiating? So how to understand this? If everybody is same, then a, a person who is doing the crime is also same as so police and the criminal, they are same. How it is possible? How you can look at this as same? If Krishna says you cannot look at these people same, how can we look at these people same? Because they are doing different activities. So Srila Prabhupada told him like this shloka. That time I think Prabhupada quoted this verse while explaining that here Prabhupada using sama buddhi. So the word used is buddhi, which is intelligence. So a yogi uses his intelligence. How he uses the intelligence, all these people, those are maintained well wishers, enemies, friends, relatives, sadhu, papi, parusha, all these people, their identity is they are living entities, they have soul. Even if they are doing in different situations, they are doing different activities, which some are good, some are bad, some are acceptable, some are not acceptable, some are dharmic, some are adharmic activities, uh, which are not supposed to be done. But in one way, all these people have equal chance, or not equal, but all these people have chance of becoming Krishna conscious somehow or other. They all can become Krishna conscious if they get proper association or if they get proper mercy. They all can become a proper Krishna conscious person or God conscious persons. So Srila Prabhupada told that when we preach, at the time of preaching, say if we are reading Bhagavad Gita or we are doing Harinam, uh, so at that time we see all these people with the same vision of giving the, say if Harinam, giving the holy name. We don't differentiate that, okay, he is a criminal, so I will not chant Hare Krishna in front of him. oh, he's a bad person, I should not. So in the crowd, when the devotees go outside on the road chanting, or when we are chanting in the temple also, the kirtan mela is there, devotees are chanting. So at that time, many guests come and go. So every time devotees don't check which guest is in what background. No, whoever comes to temple, he can listen to the mantra. He can take prasadam. He can sit in temple. He can meditate in temple. So in that sense, this becomes equally. He can see them equally because they are. If they are somehow in contact with the devotees or to the Krishna or temple or any other god, they have that sukruti to become a good, to become God conscious. So this samabuddhi, so person who can have this mentality by intelligence, he is vishishyate, he is far much advanced. So actually the uttam adhikari devotees who are much above in higher in consciousness, they have equal vision. So they just see the soul in all the bodies. So for them it never matters what this person is doing the activity. So Uttam Adhikari are at different level, but the other devotees who are not at Uttam Adhikari, but who are preaching, who are doing devotional service activities, while giving, they don't differentiate. They are sama. But while receiving, there can be difference. So for example, a sadhu, a sage giving lecture on Bhagavad Gita, yeah, we can accept that. But if a criminal, he is giving lecture on Bhagavad Gita, then we better have to be very careful when we hear from him, because what he is telling, maybe by his character he may not convey the correct message. So in that time we have to be careful. While receiving, we have to be very careful that we should not receive anything wrong. A person who is doing pious activities may say good things with good intention, but a person who is doing sins, he may not have good intentions. So many times, whatever we hear, it depends on how the speaker is speaking, what is his intention, what is his relationship, what is his consciousness. So it's very important from whom we listen, right? So so this shloka also, if we see, it's very practical that whenever we interact with different people in daily life, even if we don't know their background, when we know their background, of course we should be careful if the background does not suit what we are doing or what consciousness we are in. So one of the anga of bhakti is accepting what is favorable for bhakti. If not favorable, we reject. uh, so if some activity or some talk or some person is not favorable, we have to keep distance. But if he asks some question, how I should chant, at that time we should be equally enthused. We should have equal enthusiasm of preaching, when the same as we will have for some other person who is in good character. But even if this person is bad character, if he asks some question, we should have the same enthusiasm to tell him, because he is asking about God. So we should be somewhere in that status. So this is much higher level of consciousness, where we can analyze the person and accordingly we act, of giving and receiving knowledge. We act according to the position of the person in front of us. So that's why it is sama buddhi, intelligence. So this intelligence word is used here. Krishna now explained from Aruruksha to Yoga root stage how a person, by controlling the mind, can raise his level of consciousness. And we can see that this person that is described in the ninth shloka, he is much more advanced in the spiritual realizations and his own consciousness also. So he has much more chance of connecting with the supreme. Means chance means everybody has equal chance, but the chance in terms I am saying that he is more suitable to make progress quickly. because of his advanced state of consciousness. So, Krishna has explained these details that how this yoga ruled stage person, uh, yogi, sees different things. So, I think now Krishna will. A yoga rude person, how he should do the um, sadhana or the ashtanga yoga. So now Krishna will start explaining those activities from the next shloka. So we can see that to do ashtanga yoga also we need certain qualification. That's why Krishna said if you are not advanced in yoga you should do karma. If you are advanced, whatever Krishna has told in last 4 5 shlokas, if you are in that state, then you have almost conquered your mind and you are in somehow not 24 hours but somehow in contact with the Paramatma. So that is a yoga root stage. So Krishna will tell now what this person, how he should act, how he should do the Ashtanga yoga. And so that we will see from tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So any comments, questions, additions, changes, please share. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining.
Hare
Thank
Krishna, thank you so much.
you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank
Thank
you.
you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.